Okay, next morning.
Good morning.
Okay, today the topic is therapeutic potential of glutathione enhancers in dealing with stress. So we better understand first what is stress before we go to how glutathione may help. So hopefully you will learn in this session the many causes and types of stressful situations that will affect you, with special reference to the work and home situations, how to avoid or reduce the stressful situations, how your body responds to them, the physiological, physical, and mental responses, and what diseases chronic stress can cause, and finally, how glutathione may help fight the health problems related to stress. Okay, so there are many reasons why we are stressed. Starting with those who have spouses, the number one cause can be your spouse, and the man with 2, 3, 4 wives, and you multiply your problems. What more, we have mistresses and lovers by the side. So yes, life is full of stresses, but probably that's what makes life also interesting. Okay, so if you have too much stress in your life, then you will add more problems. Okay, and recently we had to face this major stress, which is still not over, and there's a threat of another wave coming. Already they're talking about possibility of having to mask up again. Yeah, on the 17th there was 5,149 reported cases. I don't know what was yesterday. I didn't read. But I suspect the actual number is 3 to 4 times that, because now, not like before, every single case was reported. Now many don't even, right? You test positive, you just stay home. Okay. Right, so our concern is that strokes, cancers, and can increase the risk of diabetes. So what are the symptoms that of stress? Okay, what is stress and what are the symptoms? Stress is a physical and mental response to our environment. The body constantly adjusts to the surrounding environment to keep body conditions stable, process known as homeostasis. When a physical or mental event threatens this equilibrium, the body reacts to respond to it. The stress response is often referred to as fight or flight. The body prepares for physical action in order to confront or flee the perceived danger, right? Our forefathers, going looking for food, and then comes across a tiger. With a split second, have to decide: I fight or run.
I have a question about that, doctor. I was watching this documentary recently. They mentioned fight and flight, but they also mentioned another response, which is freeze.
Which freeze?
Freeze. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean that's then the freeze is you become lunch for the tiger. Okay, so that's why all those people who went into the freeze mode, they never live to come and tell the story. Okay, but that's true. Sometimes people in the situation just blank. Okay, so the symptoms of fight or flight. The stress response begins in the brain's hypothalamus, that's part of the brain, which signals the release of stress hormones, mainly adrenaline and cortisol. Okay, the hormones are not produced by that part of the brain, right? The brain produces higher level hormones, then will go to the adrenal glands to produce these hormones. These hormones cause a variety of responses. Then you have, the pupils widen, muscle tense up, heart rate increase, blood pressure rises, red blood cell count increases, all right, over time, the blood sugar rises. Maybe some people say, hey, but that's what happened to me when I fell in love. Yeah, because it's some kind of stress response also. All these help us defend ourselves against danger. If the threat requires a physical response, stress hormones are used up quickly. Okay, modern day stresses rarely require physical responses. So stress hormones linger unused in the body. Okay, so the purpose of the stress hormones are to prepare you for the reaction. But nowadays, most of our stress are mental, no more the thing that you have to run away or fight, right? So the positive side of stress symptoms, not all stress is bad. Without stress, we would have little motivation and energy. Inadequate stress levels produce symptoms similar to depression. Stress helps athletes break records. It also helps us meet deadlines, generate new ideas, and, if necessary, survive physical danger. Negative symptoms of stress develop only when we experience excess stress. There's also, then there's acute stress and there's chronic stress. Let's look at acute stress first. Acute stress is caused by a one-time stressor. Example, an accident, a deadline, or an argument. Isolated incidents of acute stress don't cause many symptoms beyond the immediate physical stress response. When acute stresses occur continuously, more serious symptoms begin to develop. So symptoms of acute stress can include anger, chest pain, headaches, heart palpitations, irritability, joint pain, muscle tension, shortness of breath, upset stomach, and sweating. I think all of us have experienced this.
Oh, white hair.
Huh?
Oh, white hair.
Quickly, become white hair. Wow. And then, if the situation is chronic and you get chronic stress, then symptoms, these are caused by a number of conditions. Unhealthy relationships, well, you might, the healthy relationship, you have occasional quarrel. Unhealthy relationship is all the time. That's stressful. Illness, caring for a sick family member, or poverty are just a few causes of chronic stress symptoms. Symptoms of chronic stress include fatigue, muscle tension, anxiety, insomnia, depression, backaches, frequent infections, and headaches. And continued symptoms can lead to a number of serious health complications, as mentioned earlier on: diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke, eating disorders, and immune system disorders. So don't underestimate the damage that stress can cause to your body, okay, including cancer. All right, so it's looking another way. Health problems caused by chronic stress. So a whole list of diseases can result. And these are the two major stress hormones. You have the adrenaline, which is for acute stress, and cortisol for the chronic stress. So in our normal daily functioning, also the stress hormones are there. We always have a basic level of stress hormones, which fluctuates according to our expected activity during the day. So when we sleep, then both hormones are low. When we wake up, before you start your day routine, the hormones are already up, prepare you to face the day's stresses, okay? Okay, so hopefully, if in the daily up and down, in your relationships and your work, the peaks do not go too high. Let's look at cortisol, the chronic stress hormone, and the excess cortisol cause all these problems and more. Okay, and excess cortisol can give you the Cushing syndrome. Okay, there's a typical body changes that medical students are expected to pick up because of. But you can see though, the whole body is affected from the brain down to the feet. Okay, then you have adrenaline, the acute stress hormone. Of course, we need adrenaline at the right time. At the moment adrenaline is pumped through the body, the person feels alert, alive, unstoppable, on top of the world. Okay, the adrenaline and stress of the stress of an adventure are better than 1,000 peaceful days, right? This is the author's quote. But if there's too much and sustained adrenaline, it is even more harmful than cortisol. Cortisol can give you chronic diseases. Adrenaline can give you acute heart attack. Right? Can be acute. This is a survey many years back in USA, showed that 80% of adults surveyed say they have problems and stress in their lives. And women are more likely to claim they have problems and stress than men. Okay, only 70% of adults 65 and older say they have problems compared to 82% of younger adults. So usually the older you are, I think you become wiser. Okay, so either you face stressful situations better, or you know how to avoid stress. What about the acceptability of stress level? More than half of people who have problems and stress in their lives say their stress level is higher than they would like it to be. Okay? And about 42% believe their current stress level is acceptable. Again, women are more likely than men to rate their stress level higher than they would like. Okay? Even if the men have more stress, they will probably ignore much of it. Adults younger than 45 are most likely to say their stress level is higher than what they prefer, compared with the older adults. Okay, the older they are, the less is that complaint. Okay, right? The older people, I think, know how to manage stress better and know how to avoid stressful situations better. So the main cause of problems of stress among the working people, work is the top source of stress for adults. Family problems, health, economic or finances, international conflicts, terrorism. This is USA, but this is many years ago. Actually, this is more than 1 decade. Of course, if every year you do, it'll be different. If we did in the last 3 years, COVID will be the #1 issue related. Then, so many. Remember during the Delta, so many people even committed suicide. It's crazy. Okay, by age groups, right? The younger ones are more stressed. Work is a bigger source of stress to men than women, and family is a more important source of stress among women than men, expected, because the women are the one managing the family at home. Okay, among seniors, health is the second most common worry. But the more senior you become, the more that health will become a worry. Okay. Then there are differences also between those in the town areas and those in the more outside of town or rural. And among adults in higher income households, work is by far the main source of problems. The more money you have, the more money becomes a problem. Among lower income households, family is the top source of problem. Adults with a college degree and are more stressed by work, while adults with lesser qualifications are about equally stressed by family matters and work. Okay, so those are statistics, but of course, I think every country and every situation will be different, but just for information. Okay, so what about you, right? What are your sources of stress? Okay, are you overstressed? And these are some signs of a burnout. If you have chronic fatigue, anger, making demands, self-criticism for putting up with the demands, cynicism, negativity, irritability, a sense of being besieged, etc., etc. Some of this you will realize, some of this you will not realize, but others around you will notice that you have become like that. Okay? So with all that, we have to learn how to manage our stress. So managing stress is a matter of mind over matter, because stress is mainly in the mind. But the physical damage is not enough to address over the mind. So once the stress is chronic and there's some harm to the organs have happened, then we have to protect the organs. So we have to avoid or reduce the sources of stress if possible, learn to manage the stress that you can't avoid, and help your body avoid the damage caused by the excess stress. Okay, and the number one thing is you must learn how to handle the stressful situation and learn how to relax and de-stress. Right? Some would go for meditation, right? Some would go to spa. Right? So those who practice meditation should be able to handle stress better and should be able to prevent the damage caused by stress better. If you don't know how to meditate, at least learn how to laugh. Laughter can reduce a lot of stress. Okay? I don't know how to laugh, do this. Okay? All right. Okay? Many ways to laugh, but laughter is definitely a stress reducer. Yeah, remember, you don't stop laughing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop laughing. You will never stop laughing. And there's laughter yoga. Have you conducted laughter yoga here?
No.
You should get somebody to come and do laughter yoga. Okay, because there are so many serious benefits of laughter yoga. Okay, I like this quote. Laughing is the best medicine. But if you're laughing for no reason, you may need medicine. Okay. Now, related to stress is this, the importance of sleep. Because when you're stressed, right, depressed, anxious, you can't sleep. Correct? No, susah to sleep. Whereas you need sleep to help your body, right, counter, recover from the stress. But the stress itself makes it difficult to sleep. So it's a vicious cycle. And when you have sleep deprivation, then again, head to toe. Already daytime you're stressed. Then you try to sleep and you cannot sleep, you have double whammo, right? The stress, the damage caused by the stress, now the damage caused by sleep deprivation. Okay, so we start with the first role of glutathione in all this. Okay, know that more glutathione is produced when the body is asleep than during any other time. So, if you are stressed and you cannot sleep, then your glutathione production goes down. If you're able to boost your glutathione level, then you should be able to sleep better. You should be able to protect your body from the harm of your stress, and that itself, the ability to sleep better, will allow for more glutathione to be produced, and this is a positive cycle. On the other hand, if you do not boost your glutathione, if you're stressed, it will be a negative vicious cycle, right? Low glutathione levels cause poor sleep quality. This reduces glutathione production, and those with low glutathione also have lower capacity to produce it. So proper stress management would help you reduce, control, release, and manage the stress, have a clearer mind and think creatively, perform better, be more productive, make decisions better and easily, solve problems quickly, effectively, and intuitively, have better work concentrations, earn support, trust, and admiration of colleagues and subordinates. Should be able to understand and untangle complex situations, manage or supervise effectively, understand, facilitate, enhance, and help create better interdepartmental communication so that there is higher overall productivity. This is in work, yeah? And facilitate overall improvement and higher productivity in the 6 areas of life: physical, social, work, financial, religious, and family. Okay, if you're a politician, you add number 7. So proper stress management should enable you to live a healthier and happier life. Now, okay, since we all have to face stressful situation, and we all will have stress, just matter of varying degrees. And some of us know how to manage stress, some of us do not know, are not able to, which means we all have the possibility of having excess stress, which could cause harmful effects on our organs. Stress is desirable, provided it is not excessive. Excessive chronic stress causes hormonal and biochemical changes that are damaging to the tissues and organs. All the health problems related to stress deplete our glutathione. So now, earlier on, I mentioned the importance of glutathione in improving your sleep. And now, we know that stress depletes the glutathione, and as you shall see later, glutathione is very important to keep the health of all our organs. So the impact of chronic stress is that it depletes, well, one of the major effects is it depletes glutathione, and depletion of glutathione will cause a lot of problems. On the other hand, if we boost our glutathione, then it may help protect our organs from being damaged because chronic stress causes increased free radical production, increased oxidative stress, increased inflammation, increased blood sugar, increased vascular tension, which means hypertension, and reduced immunity, most of which can be reduced or reversed by glutathione. Okay, so now let's see what is glutathione. It is the master antioxidant with many other major functions. This is the molecule of glutathione made of 3 amino acids, glutamic acid, cysteine, and glycine, with the sulfhydryl group there in the center, which is part of cysteine, which gives glutathione its versatility, but also causes it to be fragile. Okay, these are the 5 major functions of glutathione that you must know. It's the most important antioxidant for the cells, very powerful anti-inflammatory agent, very powerful immune booster and modulator, very powerful detoxifier, and a very important signaling molecule. Okay, among the benefits of glutathione are increased energy, anti-aging, reduces pain and joint discomfort, strengthens immune muscle, detoxifies the liver cells, improves mental focus and clarity, improves quality of sleep, as mentioned earlier on, reduces the effects of stress, right, which is the subject of tonight's discussion, improves the skin and athletic performance and recovery. So tonight we focus on its effect on stress. Okay, so you must remember, glutathione may not be able, glutathione is not something that can prevent you from getting stressed. You know, you have a lousy spouse, you take glutathione, and your spouse is still going to be lousy. Yeah, you have, right? You have plenty of debts, you take glutathione, you still, you boost your glutathione, you're still not going to be pushed. So the role of glutathione is in protecting your body from the damage caused by chronic stress. Okay, because chronic stress depletes your glutathione. So boosting back glutathione will restore the protection. Okay, you must remember that. Right? Even without stress, studies have shown that more than 100 diseases are associated with having low glutathione levels. So if you have chronic stress and the glutathione levels go down, then you are at risk of many of these diseases. And studies have shown that glutathione is the main protector of our organs, right? From the liver to the kidney to the eyes and all the organs. So after studies have shown that low levels of glutathione equals poor health and disease, so better to boost it up again. Oral glutathione from food or supplements is poorly absorbed. The best, therefore, to give our body the raw materials or precursors to make glutathione. Scientists discovered that just providing cysteine can boost glutathione production because glycine and glutamic acid are abundant in our food unless you're malnourished. Cysteine is scanty in food and easily destroyed by cooking, and cysteine from food and supplements is fragile, right, because of the sulfhydryl group, and is easily denatured. So we have to provide a stable form of cysteine as a glutathione precursor. And you should take the stabilized form of cysteine as the glutathione precursor and not glutathione itself to effectively boost glutathione. Okay, because if you take glutathione itself, it is poorly absorbed. Okay, so the challenge is to get a stabilized form of cysteine, and the best available stabilized cysteine now is ribosine. Okay, again, let me repeat, the glutathione taken orally is not well absorbed. So therefore, we need to supplement with a glutathione precursor. And of the three precursors, cysteine is the one that is the rate limiting, meaning you just provide cysteine, then glutathione can be produced because we already have glutamic acid and glycine from our diet, right? And you need to have a stable form of cysteine, and the best stable form of cysteine available right now is ribosine. Okay, and this comes in two forms from our company. Ribosine, max one is 100% ribosine, and we have Celgevity, which is ribosine plus 12 other ingredients that have many health benefits, and it's actually an anti-aging powerhouse. All the ingredients together will not only protect your organ but also slow down your aging and hopefully also help reduce the risk of many diseases. Okay, so take home message: laughing is the best medicine, but if you're laughing for no reason, you may need medicine. Okay, all right. So you need to boost your glutathione level by taking a glutathione precursor to help your body protect the organs from the harmful effects of stress. Thank you very much.